Breaking news has completely shaken the tennis world, and this story is already being called one of the most controversial and emotional moments of the 2026 season. What began as a quiet wildcard announcement for the Birmingham Open has exploded into a global debate about player freedom, authority, exhaustion, and the right of an athlete to control their own career. At the center of it all stands rising Filipina superstar Alexandra Eala, a player who refused to step aside when pressure mounted from every direction around her. The entire sequence of events felt almost unbelievable from the beginning. Birmingham was supposed to be a routine transition event between the brutal clay season and the prestigious grass court swing leading toward Wimbledon. Instead, it became the center of world tennis. Fans woke up expecting standard wildcard announcements featuring local British names and a few international entries fighting for grass court preparation. The usual names appeared first. British players received expected opportunities. Nothing looked unusual. Then suddenly Alexandra Eala's name appeared on the official draw sheet. Not as a qualifier, not as an alternate, not buried in the middle of the draw. She appeared as the tournament's top seed. Within minutes, social media exploded. Screenshots of the draw spread across every platform. Tennis analysts began questioning how a player reportedly dealing with physical exhaustion after a demanding clay campaign could suddenly commit to a full grass court tournament only days after Roland Garros. Fans were confused. Journalists started digging. And then the deeper story surfaced. Only 48 hours before the draw was released, reports claimed that the WTA had strongly advised Eala to withdraw from Birmingham because of concerns surrounding her physical condition after months of relentless competition. The recommendation reportedly came after a difficult stretch of tournaments in which signs of fatigue had become increasingly visible. Her movement had slowed in long rallies. Medical timeouts had raised questions. Her body language during the clay swing showed signs of emotional and physical burnout. To outsiders, the recommendation sounded reasonable. The clay season is one of the most physically demanding stretches in professional tennis. Long rallies on heavy surfaces destroy the legs, the hips, and the shoulders. Then comes the violent transition to grass courts, where the movement patterns completely change in only a matter of days. Many players struggle with the adjustment. Some skip smaller events entirely to recover before Wimbledon. But Alexandra Eala saw the situation differently. She did not see herself as injured. She saw herself as exhausted but capable. And most importantly, she believed the decision should belong to her alone. That distinction became the spark that ignited the entire controversy. According to reports, the communication from the WTA was framed as a recommendation, not a formal ban. There were no threats, no suspension warnings, no disciplinary action. The message emphasized player safety and encouraged recovery before the grass season intensified further. Yet in professional sports, recommendations from governing bodies carry enormous weight. When an organization responsible for player welfare expresses concern, ignoring that concern becomes a major statement. For Eala, Birmingham represented far more than a small grass court tournament. She needed ranking points. She needed confidence. She needed matches on grass. And perhaps more than anything, she needed control over her own journey. At only 21 years old, she had already become one of the most discussed athletes in the Philippines and one of the fastest rising players in women's tennis. Her breakthrough results over the previous seasons transformed her from a promising junior into a legitimate global figure. Every match now carried enormous attention from fans, sponsors, and media outlets. Walking away from Birmingham would not have been a simple scheduling adjustment. It would have affected her Wimbledon seeding, her rankings position, and the momentum she desperately wanted entering the most prestigious stretch of the year. That night in Birmingham became pivotal. While the tennis world slept, Alexandra Eala reportedly sat in her hotel room replaying the previous 6 months in her mind. The physical pain, the losses, the criticism, the endless speculation about whether she was overplaying. Questions about her stamina followed her everywhere. Analysts debated whether her aggressive schedule was sustainable. Every withdrawal fueled more rumors. Every medical timeout became headline material. At some point during those hours, she reached a conclusion that would redefine the entire narrative. The next morning, accompanied by legal counsel, Eala requested a waiver. The document reportedly released the WTA from responsibility if she chose to compete despite the concerns surrounding her condition. It was a powerful move because it shifted the responsibility entirely onto her own shoulders. If she played badly, critics would blame her recklessness. If she got injured, the backlash would intensify. But if she succeeded, the story would become something much larger than tennis. She signed the waiver anyway. And then came the social media post that changed everything. The statement itself was short, but its emotional impact was enormous. She explained that she was not injured. She was simply tired of pretending and tired of allowing others to define her limits. Within hours, the message spread everywhere. Fans reposted it across platforms. Athletes reacted. Commentators argued over its meaning. The tennis community split into two camps almost immediately. One side believed the WTA acted responsibly. Protecting athletes from burnout is part of modern sports science. Careers can collapse because of overuse injuries, emotional exhaustion, or poor scheduling decisions. Critics argued that organizations exist precisely to stop athletes from pushing themselves too far. The other side viewed the situation very differently. They saw Eala's decision as a stand for personal autonomy. To them, the issue was not about health alone. It was about who ultimately owns an athlete's career. Governing bodies may advise. Coaches may recommend. Medical experts may warn. But should anyone have the authority to pressure a fully informed professional athlete into withdrawing against her own judgment? That question suddenly dominated tennis conversation worldwide. As debate intensified online, support for Eala grew rapidly, especially from Filipino fans. The word laban, meaning fight, spread across social media as a rallying cry. The phrase carried enormous emotional weight in Philippine culture and quickly became attached to her story. Supporters flooded comment sections with flags and messages of encouragement. What began as a scheduling dispute transformed into a symbol of resistance and determination. The controversy became impossible to ignore because other major players started quietly reacting too. Reports circulated that several top athletes privately sympathized with Eala's frustration. The modern tennis calendar has become brutally demanding. Players move constantly between continents, climates, and surfaces with almost no recovery time. Many athletes compete through exhaustion because ranking systems reward constant participation. The pressure to remain active is relentless. That context made Eala's comments resonate far beyond Birmingham. When she finally stepped onto the grass for her opening match, the atmosphere was electric. The crowd understood they were not simply watching another first-round encounter. They were watching the beginning of a story that had already become bigger than the tournament itself. Every point carried emotional tension. If she struggled physically, critics would say the WTA had been correct all along. If she withdrew mid-match, the narrative would become catastrophic. If she lost badly, the decision to play would appear reckless. But that is not what happened. Instead, Alexandra Eala delivered one of the most emotionally charged performances of her career. She moved aggressively. She attacked early. Her left-handed serve skidded low across the grass. Her returns were fearless. Point after point, she played with the energy of someone trying to prove something much deeper than simple competitiveness. The deeper she advanced in the tournament, the more the narrative shifted. Suddenly, Birmingham was no longer a minor grass event. Global media crews arrived. Press conferences became crowded. Television ratings surged. Fans lined up for practice sessions. Every match became must-watch drama because the storyline transcended tennis technique or rankings. It became about defiance. By the time Eala reached the final, the atmosphere surrounding the tournament had transformed completely. Filipino flags filled sections of the crowd. Chants echoed around the stadium. The audience understood they were witnessing something emotionally historic, regardless of the final result. Then came the championship match. The opening set displayed all of Eala's best qualities. She dictated rallies, redirected pace beautifully, and showed remarkable emotional control despite obvious fatigue. But in the second set, physical exhaustion finally started appearing. Her movement slowed slightly. Her first serve percentage dropped. Momentum shifted. For a moment, it seemed the criticism might prove correct. Yet what followed became the defining image of the tournament. Instead of fading away, she fought harder. Every rally looked personal. Every game felt symbolic. The crowd sensed the emotional stakes growing larger with each point. She clawed her way back into the set through sheer resistance and competitive willpower. When she finally struck the winning shot to capture the title, the reaction inside the stadium was explosive. Alexandra Eala collapsed onto the grass while the crowd erupted around her. It was not merely celebration. It felt like release. She had won the tournament. She had justified her decision. And she had turned controversy into triumph. The trophy ceremony only intensified the emotional power of the moment. When she dedicated the victory to the Philippines and repeated the word Laban, the crowd responded with overwhelming applause. Fans online immediately declared the moment iconic. Videos spread across every platform within minutes. The WTA later issued a formal congratulatory statement while reaffirming that player safety remains its top priority. The organization avoided escalating the controversy further, but the conversation had already escaped official control. Because now the sport faced an uncomfortable question. Where is the line between protection and control? Modern professional athletes are expected to trust sports science, scheduling experts, and medical recommendations. But they are also competitors whose careers depend on instincts, momentum, and personal judgment. Alexandra Eala forced the tennis world to confront that tension publicly. Some still believe she took unnecessary risks. Others believe she exposed a deeper issue about how governing bodies interact with athletes. There may never be universal agreement. But one fact is undeniable. If Alexandra Eala had quietly accepted the recommendation to withdraw, none of this would have happened. No title. No unforgettable Birmingham run. No emotional scenes on center court. No worldwide conversation about athlete autonomy. Instead, she chose to fight. And in doing so, she created one of the defining stories of the 2026 tennis season.